All right, so let's get into this Packer game. All right, so man, week 5 against the Lions. What do I even say? I mean, what can I say? What can I say that hasn't been said? And I said this in my video on why the Packers are pissing me off this season. And it pisses me off that a lot of Packer fans sit there and go, well, it's okay, it's okay, it's okay, it's all okay. Because this is not okay. All right? I am tired of this team. I've said this. I am tired of them coming out in the first half and just stinking up the joint. Looking like we don't even belong on the football field. Looking like we should just be fucked over. And then in the second half, they want to show up and play. But that's not enough. I've said that before. That's not enough. When you fall behind to these 20-point leads, to these 24-point leads, to these 30-point leads, when you fall behind like that, odds are you're not catching up. I know we did it against the Bears, but odds are you're not catching up. And you damn sure is not going to catch up to win. How many times do I have to say this? You can't come out and play one quarter. You can't come out and play 2 halves of a football game. You have to play the entirety of that game. If anything, you could use that to say that's why the Bears lost to us in week 1. They came out and played a first half of football. And then, and they didn't do shit the rest of the half. The rest of the second half. Well, that's the same crap that happened against the Redskins and against the Vikings and against the Lions. And I know against the Vikings, we kind of got it together late. And that's the only reason we're able to tie and kind of we kept the lead on them at least. Keep about it, we had a 21-7 lead. And then they got a touchdown, right? We got a field goal, and then they got a touchdown, and then we got another field goal. Then we got another field goal, and it was whatever. All the Vikings really need is a touchdown, and it is a touchdown, and they can take the lead. Either way, that game we had the lead pretty much all game. And then what happens is obviously, we get an interception, and then obviously Mike McCarthy decides to throw the ball twice. I don't know what was going on in that play calling, but we had the Vikings. We had them. Should have beat them. And then against the Lions, I'll say this. Mason Crosby, he missed those 5 field goals that, honestly, if he had made 2 of those 5, we would have won. I know. Shoulda, woulda, coulda. But that's the problem. You can't come out and start playing like you're out. You can't come out in the first half and not, and just not do anything. But yeah, I get it. If it was 9-24 or 9-17 going into the half, well, we would have won because the Lions then scored jack crap besides 1 touchdown all second half, and we scored pretty much almost on every drive. Almost every drive in the second half. In terms of from the 5-minute mark in the third quarter onward, we pretty much scored almost every time. And I get it. We would have won. Game would have been 31. The game would have been 34-31. Assume, you know what I mean? Our defense did lights out. But the problem is, a lot of people are going to blame the defense. I can see that already. But the problem is, the defense did what they had to do. Our offense, again, they come out in this first half, and our offense just looks like we don't belong on the football field. We don't know what's going on. No, I don't know if it's the play calling. I don't know if it's Aaron Rodgers. I don't know if it's the running backs. I don't know where to put the finger to. And that's what makes me sad, is normally when shit like this is happening with the Packers, you can point the finger at somebody. But I can't. I don't know who to point the finger at. I can't put it at Aaron Rodgers. He had a 400-yard-plus game with 3 TDs. If your quarterback's throwing for 400-plus yards and 3 touchdowns and you still can't find a way to win that game, I don't know. I don't know what to tell you then. I just don't know. What I do know, and I know that he did fumble twice, but I still can't put it all on him because Davante Adams dropped that one pass that would have had us down at the 1. And that was the key to it, because if he catches that and we score there, it's a game. It's a game again in the last 2 minutes. And if our defense can get 1 stop, I have full confidence we were going to go down the field and win that game against the Lions. But he dropped it, and we decided to kick the field goal, and he obviously missed it, and that was the end. But if Davante catches that and we score before the 2-minute warning and our defense can get 1 stop, all they needed is 1 stop. And I think our defense could have gotten that 1 stop, to be honest. And if they get that, then I have full confidence we were going to go down the field and kick a field goal and win that game. I mean, well, I don't even know if they would want to have kicked a field goal. I think they would rather have just fucking thrown the ball to the end zone or some shit. But they would have got. I had full confidence in us because it would have been a 5-point game. We score there. I had full confidence our defense to get 1 3 and out, punt the ball back, have 50, maybe under a minute, maybe a minute, go down the field and score. Yeah, so I guess you really can't kick the field goal, but I still think we could got a touchdown. This offense is talented enough to do so, and that's my problem with us coming out flat in the first half, is this offense is talented. There's no reason we should be coming out in the first half scoring fucking 0 points or some shit. I just don't understand it. You know, it makes me mad because Mason Crosby missing 5 field goals, I could really point the finger at that, but the problem is I don't want to say that's the be-all, end-all. Because this defense, you know, it's so sad to see this happen, right? Because what is the thing we asked for in Green Bay for years? A competent defense, or at least a defense that is not just gonna get shredded by like any team in the NFL. I mean, I swear to God, the defense last year, you know, it was horrible. It was honestly the God stunning. I couldn't believe it. But this year they've been playing decently. I know the problem is the defense was put down in a hole early with the missed kicks, so that gave the Lions really good field position, and the 2 fumbles, and the fumble by Kevin King. The 2 fumbles by Aaron Rodgers, then the fumble by Kevin King. The Lions, all first half long, were in short field. Like, they had the ball at the 40 almost every fucking time they touched the ball in the first half. At the 40-yard line. Probably our 40 most of the time, their 40. So it's like, you know, they didn't have as long as a field to go, so they could at least get a field goal off every drive they had. And it's just, I don't believe it, you know? I really don't. And yeah, I know, like, Lion fans and Bears fans and Vikings fans, they can celebrate because we lost. But you know what? That says a lot about their team. That's how I put it. You know, they got nothing else better to celebrate other than the best team in the division losing. Like, that says a lot. That's why I say, you know, I don't really it doesn't bother me if Lions fans or Bears fans or Vikings fans talk crap, because I mean, what have they got to talk crap about? I mean, the Bears at least have the lead in the division, but who have they really played outside of the Green Bay Packers in Week 1? You want me to believe that the Bucs were a Super Bowl contender? No, the Bucs. Ryan Fitzpatrick does this a lot. He does. He's always done this. I've said that before. He always does this kind of nonsense. He'll have like these flashes of he shows what he could be, and then he just whatever. But then, I mean, what they barely beat Josh Rosen in the Cardinals. No, actually, they barely beat Sam Bradford in the Cardinals, because it was Sam Bradford starting almost that entire game until like the last minute, and then they put in Josh Rosen, and obviously throws an interception. Like, obviously that's just written in stone to happen. It's not like he had a chance in hell. But they just barely beat the Arizona Cardinals, who aren't even that great. You know what I mean? And who have the Lions? The Lions beat the Patriots and the Packers. So what? You still lost to the 49ers. You still lost to, who else was it? No, they didn't lose. That was the Vikings. They lost to the Bills. Now that's that. See, the Bills have upset. See, the Bills are like the Lions right now. The Bills have upset 2 teams. They upset the Vikings, and they beat the Titans. What is going on? Like, how are the Bills doing this? The Bills are like losing to like teams, but like they're upsetting teams. Like, you know what I mean? Like, the Bills aren't winning against teams that you could say like, oh, well, I saw that coming. I could see that coming. No, I did not see the Bills beating the Titans. I saw them at least being competitive, like, because the Titans aren't like a full-powered dynasty offensive like team or whatever, where they're just gonna put up points. But I at least saw the score probably ending out like 24-14. Something where they're at least competitive and it's a game to watch. But, like, not where it's going to be. But in the late closing stages, the Titans are just kind of going to pull away with it, and it's going to be the end. No. This game was competitive all the way up to the wire, and the Bills go down and kick a field goal to win the game. And I said, fuck that, because that ruined my picks for the week. I had the Titans winning, and that ruined everything. That ruined everything. Besides the Packers, that ruined everything. But, again, I don't know where to put the finger at in terms of this Packer team. All I can really say is if we don't beat the 49ers next Monday, our season's over. That's all I can say. Because we can't keep dropping these games that were against teams that we should beat. You know, I mean, the Lions, whatever. The Lions aren't going to do crap this year. I don't care how many games they win. They're not a playoff team. They're not a good playoff team if they ever go. And they'll be eliminated quickly. The Bears haven't really played anyone truly great yet, and they play the Dolphins, which will be a decent test, I guess. A decent test. I mean, the Dolphins are a pretty mixed bag team right now. They're like either they're really, really good one week or they're a shit show next week. So, you know, that's actually the same thing with the Jaguars. You know, the Jaguars right now, if anyone saw that Kansas City game, I guess we could just make this into a recap video. The Jaguars and Chiefs, I mean, Patrick Mahomes, he just lit him up, and Blake Bortles again, that's the thing with Blake Bortles. He'll look good one week. You know, the first week of the season, he looked very bad. Second week, he looks great. You know, week 3, and week 4, he's dog shit again, and then week 4, he's great. And then week 5, what is he doing? Like, against Kansas City's defense of all defenses. Kansas City's defense isn't even great this year. And Blake Bortles, again, it's just every other week with him. You know, one week he's great. One week he looks like the second coming of Aaron Rodgers and Tom Brady combined. The next week he's just, he's literally the ghost of Jay Cutler in the NFL right now. I don't know. I don't know what to say. I just don't. In terms of the Packers, though, I really can't keep saying much more because I'm just going to end up repeating myself. If we don't win against the 49ers next week Monday, it's all over. Because you can't go 2-3. And I know we went like what, 3-4 or 3-5 and made the playoffs a couple seasons ago. But the odds of that happening are not. We would need, and again, for us to happen this year, we would need absolute lady luck on our side for that to happen. So if we don't beat the 49ers on Monday, I'm just going to call the season quits. I'll obviously keep doing recap videos and blah, 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 but the season will be over. So because they're not going 2-3, and I mean, this division is still wide open. I'll say that. Even if we do lose next Monday, the reason I say the season's over is because I believe even if we make the playoffs, we're a one and done team. Because teams that start out like this, and if they go to the playoffs, they're a one and done team. Because they don't play well in the playoffs if they start like this. That means most teams that start like this, if you go 2-3 to start the year and you make the playoffs somehow, normally, unless there was absolute chaos in the first couple of weeks of the season, and that's why or something, or you had big injuries to star players, but we don't really have that many big injuries besides Randall Cobb, and that's not enough for me to be like, oh, well, once Randall Cobb comes back, we'll start winning every game. Nah, that's not enough for me to be like that. Although, I'll say this, Randall Cobb will definitely help, but for now, if we don't beat the 49ers Monday, and I swear to God, if we lose to the 49ers, I'm going to really question if Mike McCarthy should, because we got a bye week after next week. So we need to go 3-2 next week. But if we go 2-3 heading into the bye, and then we have to play the Rams, then we have to play the Patriots, kiss the season goodbye, because you're not going to be able to come out slow. We're not going to be able to be like, this is what I'm most worried about, because Packer fans just don't get it. They don't get it. I'm one of those only Packer fans. Besides, shout out to my friend on YouTube. Not really a friend, but I subscribe to him. Shout out to the YouTuber known as Frank Nitty. Packer fans, besides Packer fans like him, they don't understand this. That you're not going to be able to do this in the playoffs. You're not going to be able to come out fucking flat as a motherfucker and then all of a sudden expect a miracle to happen and absolute lady luck to happen in the second half. Because you know who's going to be in the playoffs? The St. Louis Rams. And if we come out not scoring anything and we expect to just somehow magically turn the tables on them in the second half, yeah, you're smoking something. Because the Rams, they're looking like they're going to be at least at worst a 14-2 team. They're giving me strong vibes to that 2015 Carolina Panthers team, just without the greatest defense. This is literally looking like the Greatest Show on Turf Part 2. And if you don't know what the Greatest Show on Turf is, do your history, buddies. But this is looking like the Greatest Show on Turf Part 2, and I'm scared because I don't care. I literally don't care. If the Packers keep playing like this, we have to play the Rams in a couple weeks here. I'm done. Because I'm not going to watch. I don't even want to watch that game. That's how scared I am. Because I already know we're going to get massacred if we keep playing like this. I don't even know if I really want to watch that game. Because this 49ers game will decide everything for me. If we can come out and we can rebound and we can clean up some of the messes that we had against the Lions and beat the 49ers like we should, then I will be full on back on the bandwagon and saying that, you know, we can still make the playoffs and we can still win the division. But not if we lose to the 49ers. If we lose to the 49ers, I'm going to be like, okay, nah, we're not even, yeah, forget about even winning the division. Even though we'll only be 2 games out of the division and a lot of football left, forget about that. Can't lose to teams like this and expect to win the division and make the playoffs and even be competent in the playoffs. Because problem is, I'm not a guy who looks at, you know, games and goes like, well, it'll be okay, because I know these type of things. I've seen it with the Packers before, that these type of things, they keep everlasting. They keep always going throughout the season. These type of slow starts, all these type of things, they go on forever until it's almost too late to damn fix it. And that's what I'm saying, like. And that's the biggest problem, in my opinion, in the McCarthy era. But I'm not gonna rant McCarthy, because since I know, I've said it in my videos, I know any NFC North team that goes to the playoffs this year will be a one and done team. I'll do my rant on McCarthy then. But hey, if the Packers like somehow magically prove me wrong and win the Super Bowl this year, then I will absolutely come on here and say I was wrong, and Mike McCarthy deserves all the praise that he's ever gotten. But right now, it's looking like even if we go to the playoffs, and any NFC North team, for that matter, will be a one-and-done team. Because the Vikings are shit. I mean, I know they beat the Eagles, but come on. I mean, who cares? The Bills beat the Titans. And you know what I mean? Like, it's one of those type of things where it's like, it doesn't really matter. At the end of the day, who actually cares? Like, the Eagles are struggling right now, and the Vikings are struggling, and that's why that score was 21-23, because it's 2 struggling teams. So who honestly cares? No one's afraid of the Vikings. The Vikings should have been great, but no one's afraid of them. No one's afraid of the Bears, because they haven't played real competition besides Week 1. And no one's really afraid of the Lions, because, I mean, yeah, you beat the Packers and Patriots, but, I mean, whatever. They're not going to be able to be... They're just not a consistent enough team for anyone to truly take them that seriously. So, I guess we could recap some of the rest of the things. We have the Texans beating the Cowboys, and, you know, I said that, honestly, on that last play with DeAndre Hopkins, all I can sum it up is, you know you're going to lose when some shit like that happens. Like, no, I'm serious. Like, I'm as a football fan as a Packer fan in general, who's had his heart broken by magical plays that wound up against our team, when stuff like what DeAndre Hopkins did on Sunday Night Football, when that just happens, you know you're going to lose. Because you're just like, that's unnatural, that shouldn't have happened, but it did, and now you just know you're going to lose. You just know you're going to lose. And the Bengals are actually looking competent this year. You know, I didn't think the Bengals were going to be terrible, but I thought they're going to be an 8-8 team, or maybe 9-7. But they're looking like they're going to be a 10-6 team. And another team that looks like they might be able to do something is the Browns. Now, I'm not saying the Browns are going to be awesome and they're going to be the greatest thing ever. I posted a joke on Facebook that the Browns will win the Super Bowl. And, you know, remember this post come February, but it's more of a joke at Browns fans right now. No, I shouldn't say that, because Browns fans, they deserve to have some happiness. They really do. After going 0-16 last year, you deserve to have some happiness. You know, you can't complain that you're 2-2-2. You really can't complain that you're 2-2-1. You really can't. But the Browns, in my opinion, I won't lie. If they did win the Super Bowl, I would say the NFL's rigged. I'll come out here and say the NFL's rigged, because that wouldn't happen. But who knows? The Browns might win the Super Bowl. It could. I guess it's not impossible. And I've always been told, if it's never impossible, never say it's not going to happen. Because if it's not impossible, then it could happen then. So never say never. But, you know, what's the odds? Come on, what are the odds? Are the odds that really good for the Browns to win the Super Bowl? But if they did, more power to them, I guess. You know, you can't really complain. Because you really can't complain, all right? If the Browns won the Super Bowl, think about it this way. At least it won't be the same fucking team every year. Either like the Patriots, the Broncos. And as one thing I can say as a Packer fan, you know, we're always in there as well. Even though we haven't been back there for quite some time, we're just one of those teams that, like, you know, we're always there, kind of, or we're always close. So it's like, you know, it gets. I can imagine if you're not a Packer fan or a Patriots fan or a Bronco or like Cowboy or whatever, you're kind of just like, oh man, these fucking same fucking teams every year. And I can understand that. It does seem weird that the same teams every single year keep going. But you know, if the Browns did win, at least it's not the same team every year or something. So, but I doubt it. But I will say this: the Browns actually could make the playoffs. Could. I don't believe they will. I think they'll actually start falling off a cliff here soon. But keep in mind that the underdogs, you can't count them out. If you start, because I know a lot of people are going, well, it's just the Browns, they'll start falling off a cliff. But keep in mind, they're underdogs. Underdogs are hungry. They're the most hungry. Underdogs are always the most hungry for a win. So don't start sitting there saying the Browns can't do nothing, because I don't know. That's a scary thing to start assuming, because we've seen that happen with teams, and look what happened. They start going to Super Bowls. I mean, who had the Philadelphia Eagles winning the Super Bowl last year? So, like, yeah, never start sitting there saying this team ain't gonna do nothing, because that might come back to haunt you. But unless it's just, and like the Browns have played decent teams, you know. I think they played scrubs all year. And the Browns aren't that far behind, and they beat the Ravens, which I'm surprised, because like the Ravens were looking pretty good until now. So it's gonna be a good season, I think, and I hope the Packers can turn it around. And I definitely want to see what happens with the Redskins and Saints today, because that should be a game. Because the Redskins, all right, I'll say this: the Redskins have a chance to take this division by the balls. All right. If they can beat the Saints, they have a chance to take the NFC East. That's all I got to say. And I'm probably going to actually have a recap video for the Saints and Redskins game, because I'm going to start covering some more stuff on this channel, and maybe branching out to my video games a bit more. Anyway, you all have a great night, and subscribe, like the video. Thank you very much.